God, it's so fun. Damn. It's been a while. Won't you come on with me? It's been a fucking hot ass minute, hasn't it? Oh, hey there. It's been a while since I've seen you around. Oh, this? Oh, I'm just writing out a new script for a new video idea that I just came up with. You like the script so far? You know, now that I think about it, I don't think a script is necessary.
Ori and the Will of the Wisps was a game that was released in 2020 by the team Moon Studios, a sequel to Ori and the Blind Forest, which came out in 2015. Our story begins about a couple weeks ago when I first found out about this shit called Xbox Game Pass. Long story short, Game Pass is a massive library of free games to play. And among the over 200 games to download, my eyes caught sight of Ori. Now at first, I didn't know what fucking game to play because I honestly believed Will of Wisps was the first game and Blind Forest was the second going into this. I didn't look this shit up. So going into this review, I haven't played the Blind Forest and probably won't need to because this game is hands down one of the best games I have ever played. And I'm gonna go into depth and tell you the whole shebang! No, I'm not. Look, if I went in depth and talked about this for 20 minutes, this video would be boring to me. So I'm only gonna tell you that Ori is a stunning, beautiful game from the start to the end. The game's soundtrack really brought character to the environment, and the story of the game was an emotional roller coaster. So, going off script, I'm gonna ramble now. From what I could make of Ori and the Will of the Wisps, it was about this character named Ori who they raise a youngling, a young bird named Ku. She grows up, she doesn't know how to fly, so she needs to be taught how to fly, and that doesn't quite go as planned. And so Ori remembers that she has, we don't know the gender of Ori. What the fuck am I talking about? Ori remembers that he or she has a feather that was stored away throughout all these years. I guess they didn't need the feather that much. And upon placing the feather onto Ku, she gains the ability to fly. They soar great heights. They're just a magnificent duo. And then this fucking storm comes in and, shit hits the fan. And then you end up getting separated. The feather gets ripped off. And then you're like, oh, fuck. Guess we're going through this bullshit, man. And now you just sitting back and you're like, well, fuck. I just got emotionally attached to the story. And now I'm emotionally distracted in this story. So when the game starts out, the goal is obviously to find Ku. And about halfway through the game, you find Ku and you also find out about this big bad bird called Shriek. Now, Shriek hates everything. She's a cannibal. Shriek is a cannibal. It's just an ugly, terrifying beast is what Shriek is. And Shriek hurts Ku to the point it knocks her unconscious. And the only way that Ori can save Ku is by restoring the spirits to the willow tree, I believe. Don't correct me on that. I believe. Because they were separated and spread across throughout the land. So finding all of these spirits, they merge together and they form this entity called Seer. And we have to help Seer get to the willow tree in order to restore life across the glades. I do not remember what the names were. It wasn't that important. Upon the way, you will run across a multitude of optional side quests, one of which being called a family reunion side quest. And I'm pointing this one out in particular because I have something that I planned out for this.
Man, Ori is such a wonderful and fantastic game. It really makes me happy seeing all of these cute little forest creatures wandering around.
Oh. That's a shame.
Oh, shit. Oh, it's a sad... Oh. Do I really want to do this side quest? I don't know if I really can mentally handle that. I might cry by the end of this side quest, and then you have me on the floor crying at the end of the side quest. Ori and the Will of Wisps is a very colorful and emotional game from start to end. And you really don't have to play the blind forest to figure that shit out from the get-go. You pretty much can piece it together as you go on this emotional journey. So, long story short, we get to the willow tree. We do all the shit in order to save this tree, and then Seer merges with the tree in one of the most beautiful scenes in the entire game at that point. And just as we are about to collect the spirit, Shriek comes. Of course she does. Why wouldn't we? We gotta fight her after all. I mean, it's a part of the game, fuck ass. What did you think this was? An emotional support baggage? It is, but you have to fight this bitch first before you can proceed on with the story. One of the hardest boss battles that I've ever had to deal with to date, because you really go in very weak compared to what Shriek is capable of. Especially with that ending section where you have to be in the air to fight. I have never played a game like that, apart from Cuphead, where you ever had to be in the air to fight a boss with no platform at that most. That can be a stressful experience. But you defeat Shriek and you get Seer back. And basically you have to leave the life you once lived and grow. Ori had to give up everything.
Yes! Congratulations! You won! Cool, what do I get? I'm gonna give you an emotional gut punch! Wait, what? And then I'm gonna rip your heart out!
And a very emotional ending to the entire game for me. A very emotional ending. Because I grew very attached to my main character. And once it was over, it was over.
But you know, for as bad as that ending was, here's an actually better ending that I just found, by the way. Take a look.
I can sit here and I can joke all I want to about the journey being as difficult as it is, and not to mention the bugs. I mean, this game, as beautifully astonishing as this game is, there is quite a bit of glitches that I've ran across in my entire playthrough of this game. But even with that downgrade, it is still a very beautiful game, and I highly recommend anyone play it. Even if you don't like platformers, I mean, it is at least worth a try. Is it difficult? Yes, it is. That just goes without saying. It's a platformer. When you ever think a 2D platformer is just going to be so simple that you're just going to walk from A to B? When do you ever think that? And that was my Ori and the Will of Wisps review.